Here we are. So we are gonna make a dessert for Easter. We are making the standard like ham and turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and stuff like that. So we may show the tablescape once we're completed with Easter, but I decided to make something that's kind of cool. My brother gave this cookbook to me 2 years ago. So it's Amy Thielen. Recipes, menus, advice for company. So this is how to make a great meal for a bunch of people, and it scales up to like, I don't know if you can see this. So Saturday night, holiday parties, and then perennial parties, groups of 6 to 10, or casual buffets for 15 to 20 or more. And it's very, very, very good menu. Little frou-frou-y, but really delicious food. And we're going to make something from her cookbook. This is a recipe for something called lemon Nemesis. When I was reading through this cookbook, the title was so catchy, I knew I just had to make it. Excuse me. And that turns out to be my brother Keith's favorite dessert of all time. So let's get a little started here. So the first step is you crush 2 sleeves of Ritz crackers till they're at 7 ounces, and then you're going to take 6 tablespoons of butter and it calls for 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. I don't have that, so I'm going to use honey.
I imagine it might even be better that way.
Yeah. Go. I'll get this off here. Get it all over my fingers good. Get it all over everywhere. That's how you know you're baking right. Okay, so I'm gonna take this to the microwave and put it in together for about 30 seconds, maybe less. So let's see if it's melted. Not quite. Has to be completely melted. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and preheat the oven to 325. This looks more like it. So the residual heat will melt the rest of the butter. But you want to make sure it's nice and combined, because the instructions are to put this all in a bowl and mix it, but I don't want to dirty a bowl since I've already got all this in here. So I'm just going to pour it into this and mix it around. And then when it's mixed up, you're going to dump it. And it says for a 9 by 13 pan, but I like to make it like a fancy cake. So mine's going to be in this springform pan, and it's pretty deep. I'd say, well, it doesn't have any dimensions, but it looks like this. And so I'm going to put this in. I might not use it all because I want to make sure to leave enough room for the filling. So we'll see. Looks pretty good. Need a little bit more. Go. You put a little lip in this crust. It makes it prettier for the presentation, and it also keeps the filling from going through. If you have a less than perfect springform pan. Okay. All right, so what you're going to do is sit this in a 325 degree oven for about 10 minutes. You might be asking yourself, why is it called lemon Nemesis? Well, I'm fixing to show you. in her book, she says she loves lemon way more than chocolate. And if you were sane, you'd skip this whole mess and fill the crust with just like lemon ice cream and top it with whipped cream and then call it a day. But we're not going to do that. Oh, no, we're not. Let me show you the crust first. That's the easy part. Welcome to the easy part. You did the easy part. You got the crust all set and ready to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make something called a lemon curd. And before we get to that, guess what I forgot to do in the last clip? Put my hair up. So it's pink for Easter. So how do we do the lemon curd? Well, I'm sure you're not asking by now, but just in case you are, let me help you. In this bowl, I have 3 large eggs and 6 large egg yolks. And I've emptied the whites into here. You're going to need these later. Make sure that this bowl is grease proof. Wash it out with vinegar if you want to. I just freshly washed this with hot water and soap. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator till tomorrow when we're going to decorate. That's right. I said tomorrow. You know why? Because we put this in the freezer and freeze it when it's all put together. But anyway, next thing you do is 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Next thing you do, pour in sugar.
How much?
3/4 of a cup of sugar. And this is 1.25 cups of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And then you're gonna blend this immediately. If you don't blend it immediately, the egg yolks will cook or curdle and you'll get a whole bunch of lumps. So you don't want that. All right, that's good enough for now. Pardon my counter. All right, so now what you do is you come over here and I have a saucepan. It's filled like just to half, because what you want to make sure is this bowl sits here on top and doesn't touch the water, because what you're going to create here is a double boiler. There we go. And you're going to bring it to a simmer, and then you're going to cook it until it turns into a custard. This is 2 tablespoons of vodka. I forgot to add it. I'm going to stir it up real good. And eventually what you're going to want to do is you're going to sit here and stir this until it becomes like a custard. And that's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's a custard. It's curdling up a little bit, so I'm going to take it off. My instant read says 152. Now what it wants me to do is put in 4 tablespoons of cold butter. So you're going to whisk that in. And this is what's called lemon curd. That was 2 tablespoons of butter. The other thing I was going to tell you is, like, this pot here came up to a boil. You kind of want to fight that. You don't want it to come to a boil. You want it to stay at a simmer. If it boils, the chance of it coming up and touching the bottom of the bowl and curdling, making scrambled eggs, is greater. This looks so pretty. Look at that lemony.
Yeah.
You just know it's lemony.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you've been stirring this the whole time.
Stirring the whole time.
Yeah.
Making sure it stays off the bottom. But you can see it's kind of curdy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But it's not scrambled eggs.
No, it's, well, I mean, some people might sieve that out. I'm not going to, because it's going to become ice cream anyway. You're not going to know whether there's lumps or not. But here we go. See, look.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a custard. Okay, here we go. And put this on an ice bath and let it cool to room temperature. And you stir it occasionally just to keep it, cooling down. So the lemon curd's almost at room temperature. Comes real fast together on a bed of ice. But you can see it's like really thickening up. My neighbors, the Hobsons, used to make this lemon curd and jar it and give it out. It was the best thing to put on toast. But we're not going to do that. We're going to save it.
You put it on toast?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Here, so we're going to have a cup and a quarter of heavy whipping cream in this bowl. Because we're going to make some whipped cream for the ice cream portion. So if you can get the idea, it's basically lemon curd ice cream that you're making as an icebox cake. Okay. So I put the whipped heavy whipping cream on top of the ice too, just to keep it cold. It should help quicken the whipping process. And she says to bring this to soft peaks, so it's got to be kind of floppy, not stiff. I'm going to get this all over the kitchen. There you go. Now, take this over to our lemon curd, and we're going to put half of this whipped cream in first to lighten the mixture. There you go. It's a good half. Maybe a little more, but there we go. And then you're going to fold it in. Look how beautiful the light lemon yellow color is.
That's very pretty. We're folding in, not stirring so much.
You're going to try not to, get rid of what little bubbles there are. A couple things I forgot to do. Forgot to put this in, but it's okay. You're going to put 1 whole can of sweetened condensed milk in. A couple drops of lemon extract. Not that it needs it, but she likes it to be extra lemoniness, extra lockiness, extra clickiness. Yeah. I was going to put vanilla in here, but I'm not going to. Doesn't need it.
This whole bean paste, vanilla bean paste?
Yeah, I'm not gonna put it in.
Okay.
I like the color too much, because if I put the bean paste in, it'll get little black specks in it, and we don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, you wouldn't want black specks.
No, it's so pretty. All you gotta do is wrap this and put it in the freezer, and you're done for the day.
And eventually it's going on top of that?
In there, yeah, in a
After
second.
it's
Yeah.
frozen,
No.
or-
We're gonna put this on there.
Right.
Then we're gonna wrap it,
Oh, okay.
and then we're gonna put it in the freezer overnight.
Oh, okay. So this is not going to be separated.
No, this is frozen ice cream cake. She said, if you were sane, you could just thaw out some lemon ice cream, and put it on the cookie crust or the cracker crust, right? But we're crazy here. We don't hide our insanity. We put it right out for everyone to see. Isn't that just delightful? Now she puts hers in a 9 by 13 inch pan because she says that, it's easier for a crowd to get into, and I completely understand that. But I like to be a little fancy with it and make this cake like a piece of cake. So here we go.
Oh, lovely.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. And so that's just going to sit overnight?
In the freezer.
In the freezer.
Yeah, it's going to turn it basically into ice cream.
Okay. Oh, wow. You know, it didn't turn out too Nemesis-y.
No.
Nemesis-y.
Yeah, I would say the hardest part, there are two hardest parts. Watching, the whole faff with the lemon curd, you got to watch that pretty carefully. That's a pretty technical issue to look out for. So just keep your eye on it. Don't leave it for the first time you make this, maybe the second time you make it, because if you get overconfident, you're gonna get scrambled eggs, and that's just not good. The second thing will be the meringue. If you've never made meringue before, that could be a little nerve-wracking, but other than that, it's dead easy. So we're round and third, headed for home. We're ready to decorate our ice cream lemon. We're ready to decorate our lemon Nemesis. We're round and third, headed for home. Or so you thought. Welcome to Easter, by the way. We're all dressed for Easter.
Woo!
We might do a video montage of all the stuff we served. It's just straightforward, but you'll get it when you see it. So, happy Easter. He's risen. He's truly risen. And let's get to making meringue. All right, so this is a cooked meringue, and it's going to be very interesting. What you want to make sure is, I've got a stand mixture bowl, right? And it's probably freshly washed, but this is a half of a lime. I'm going to just put this in here. Julia Child used to do this just to make sure there's no fat residue on the eggs, because fat is like the enemy of whipped egg whites. So I got 1.25 cups of sugar, 6 egg whites from the previous egg yolks, this is apple cider vinegar. We'll need 2 teaspoons of that. Oh, that's a little bit much. And then set a good pinch of kosher salt. We're going to just sprinkle sea salt in. All right, so now that's just not a great pinch, but I don't want it to be salty. So I'm going to mix all this up. And then here comes the dangerous part, because we're going to put this whole shebang over a double boiler again. We're supposed to mix this all together and then put it over a double boiler until the mixture feels uncomfortable to the touch. So here comes the next part. See, we're going to go over here to the double boiler. Got some water simmering. I'm making sure that the bowl doesn't touch the bottom. It looks like it might be. Okay, I gotta go. This is something we need to learn. Gotta go lower, much lower. There. So I'm gonna let that come to a simmer. Gonna increase the heat a bit. So now when I put it on there, it's not resting in the water. Because you want it to be exposed to the water, but you don't want the bowl to touch the water. So I'm going to stir this constantly until it becomes uncomfortable to the touch. Oh, almost there. Okay, so you can see that it's getting foamy, and it's definitely getting warm. We're almost ready. So what we're going to do next is we're going to transfer this bowl to the KitchenAid, and we're going to whip it until we get... Okay, it's there. It's there. It's uncomfortable to the touch. So now we're going to take this to the KitchenAid, and we whip it.
Okay.
There we go. There we are, stiff peaks. We're gonna let this, well, okay, so here's what's gonna happen next. We're gonna dollop this upon our lemon Nemesis. So let me show you what she looks like now. There she is, she's all frozen. I'm gonna loosen her a bit so you can see what she looks like. See?
Oh, wow.
That's what she looks like. I'm gonna loosen her a bit. I'm gonna put it back on. Kind of loose, but I'm gonna wrap the foil around it. And this is why. I'm gonna put a bunch of meringue on this, and this is something that the recipe does not call for. But I'm gonna put a bunch of meringue on this, and I'm gonna decorate it for Easter, and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. We have way more beautiful meringue. Look how gorgeous it is.
Beautiful.
We have more than we need.
That's good. That's good.
There we are. Look at that beautifulness. Okay. Then here are the glitter gels. So we're gonna do pink first. Just gonna Jackson Pollock it up. Purple. Of course we have to have purple. A little bit of green. I don't know if we're gonna need this, but I'll put a little on. This is gold glitter. There we are.
Gorgeous.
I'm gonna put this in the fridge. Here we go. God willing, the crinked oat rise, that'll be lemon Nemesis for Easter.